Ladies and gentlemen, my goat Camellya is almost here, but we finally have animations and her kit in the waiting, so we can go over them. I can kind of explain what you're going to see here in these animations. Now, as always, with every single one of these videos I make before the character is finally released, this is subject to change. Kuro could change like all of this. I doubt they'll change all of it, but they can change anything they want here, so keep that in mind. So we'll jump into this document right here, which goes over basically everything about Camellya. We'll start off with materials you can start farming now. These are the materials it seems she'll be using, the same 2 new materials you get in the Black Shores that you use for the shorekeeper right there. And then we've got the stars. I forget their actual name. They're all dissimilar, the same thing. And the skill level up we have here. So it gives you the exact number of everything you need. Go out, get all of this if you want to get her maxed out, pre-farm it. Be ready so when she comes out, you can just go and make her absolutely amazing. But let's get into what she actually does. And her normal attack is called breeding. Yes, you read that correct. That's actually what it's called in game. We'll see, I guess, if they change the name. I'm sure it has something to do with flowers, since her whole thing is about flowers. But basically, her basic performs up to 5 consecutive attacks, dealing havoc damage after casting basic attack stage 3. Holding the normal attack will continuously attack the target, dealing havoc damage, and then when basic attack stage 4 ends, immediately cast basic attack stage 5. She of course has a heavy attack, a plunging attack, and a dodge counter, all of them dealing havoc damage. Now what do they look like? Well, here we go. Here's some basic attacks. Boom. And that right there, that spinning like top move she does, that's the one you can hold down. So when we look at the kit, the stage 3 hold down will continuously attack. It's that one, spinning through the air, dealing the damage that way. But what about her resonance skill? Well, her resonance skill is called Dance of Blooming and Wuthering. Full bloom attacks the target, dealing havoc damage, and then you enter the bloom state, which you'll see in a second here. This damage counts as basic attack damage and can be casted in the air. Now, the bloom state. What is the bloom state? Well, you can't move in the bloom state. The basic attack and heavy attacks will be replaced by basic attack Vine Dance, performing up to 4 consecutive attacks, dealing havoc damage. This counts as basic attack damage. Important to note that when, we eventually get to what echoes and stuff are good for her. When casting basic attack stage 3 Vine Dance, holding the normal attack will cast basic attack Ashen Blossom Vine Dance, deals havoc damage, and then immediately cast basic attack stage 4 Vine Dance. Dodge counter is replaced with dodge counter Atonement, and basically when pressing the normal attack after successfully dodging, Camellya attacks the target, doing havoc damage. It's just a different version of her dodge counter, different animation, a little bit different, kind of cool. But then your resonance skill is replaced with resonance skill Dark Pistol Seeker. Don't think she's using a gun. She's not. I know it's not. The pistol's not spelled the same. Casting Dark Pistol Seeker deals damage to the target, dealing havoc damage. This damage counts as basic attack damage. And after casting this resonance skill Dark Pistol Seeker, Camellya will exit her bloom state. Jumping replaced with basic attack Whirling Dance. Tap jump to attack the target, dealing havoc damage. Counts as basic attack damage. And then Camellya exits the bloom state in this form as well. Well, what does that look like? You know I'm showing you, so here we go. Her skill here. Boom! Now you see we're in the state. Our hair is red and we are floating in the air with vines. She looks majestic. I actually really like this. I think this is really cool. Wuthering Waves, Kuro, I feel like you always do a great job making all the characters cool and unique. They don't all feel like clones. But here we go. Normal attack. You can see she's whipping vines around. She can do the spinning there. Spinning it around. A great way, I feel, for AoE type stuff. I feel like GN's kind of the only other super great AoE dude. I guess Jinxie with her, big beam attack. But this is like a more continuous attack. Jinxie's like a one-time ba-boom. And then here we have her jump. And you can see she's back to normal. She is no longer in her bloom state. Now, to show you some more, spinning to win, as you can see here, literally just flailing those things around. Super cool. I really like this. I think this is just awesome. And then we have a little bit of skill cancel here. Ba-boom. So that's what it looks like when you use your skill out of it instead of the jump that we saw in the first one. And now for her Resonance Liberation. Attacks the target, dealing havoc damage, and it can be cast in the air. That's it. It's that simple. 2 lines of text. keeps it simple for you. And now what does that glorious liberation look like? Well, here you go. Boom! I like the cinematic of it, the spinning in, the zooming in, the flower blossoming. I'm sure we'll learn about all of this in her story. Why she's all about the flowers, everything. Maybe it's a curse, something like that. But that is what her Resonance Liberation looks like. Resonance Circuit, or Forte Circuit, Botanical Universe. When basic damage, plunging attack, normal attack, vine dance, normal attack, whirling dance, dodge counter, atonement hits the target, you will consume Red Camellya Pistol. The base resonance energy recovery efficiency of this attack is increased by 150%. Every 10 points of Red Camellya Pistol consumed will restore 4 points of Concerto energy, then gain 1 stack of Red Camellya Bud, lasting for 15 seconds, stacking up to 10 stacks. The important part you need to get from this is that using the 10 points of Red Camellya Pistol will grant you the Concerto energy, because Concerto energy becomes a big thing for her. And we see that right here, the Resonance Skill Dayflower. When Concerto energy is filled, Resonance Skills replaces the Resonance Skill Dayflower. When casting Resonance Skill Dayflower, consume 70 Concerto energy, restores 100 points of Red Camellya Pistol, then attack the target, dealing havoc damage. After casting Resonance Skill Dayflower, you will enter the Bud State. Now, what happens in the Bud State? Well, in the Bud State, your basic attack, plunging attack, normal attack, vine dance, normal attack, whirling dance, dodge counter, atonement, resonance skill, Camellya, or Red Camellya Bloom, resonance skill, Dark Pistol Seeker damage, multiplier increases by 50%, so you're doing more damage with everything. That's the key there. When casting Resonance Skill Dayflower, you will remove all Red Camellya Bud. Every stack of Red Camellya Bud additionally increases the damage multiplier by 5 up to 50%. So you add the two together, some quick math things, 100%. Lots more damage. We like that. When her Resonance Skill, Red Camellya Bloom, Resonance Skill Dark Pistol Seeker hits the target, you will consume Red Camellya Pistol. During the Bud State, Camellya's base resonance energy recovery efficiency is reduced to 0%, and when Red Camellya Pistol is fully consumed, the Bud State will end early. Hold up here, let's remind ourselves of something. This happens when your Concerto energy is filled, not your Forte gauge. Important distinction. So when watching this, the bar at the bottom here, you know, the musical bar that's at the bottom of your screen, that is not your Concerto energy. You know your Concerto energy is full when your teammates light up for you to do an intro and outro swap. That's how you know you have a full Concerto energy, is because they light up, because that's normally how you activate your intro and outros, is with Concerto energy. We even have the definitions here. I just pulled it up. Used by characters to cast outro and intro interaction between the character leaving the field and the next character taking the field. Unleashed upon switching characters in combat when the current character's Concerto energy is full. Accumulated the same way as Resonance Liberation energy, but with different rates, which can be checked in-game via skill detail section in the character's Forte. Noted, not all sources are displayed in the Forte menu. This is different than Special Energy or the Forte Circuit energy, as the Forte Circuit is on that bar, as I explained, and the Concerto is not. So keep that in mind when you're using her. Don't look at the bar, because the Concerto energy is what's doing it, not the normal Forte gauge. Now, for the Bud State, I haven't been able to see any videos on it, like how I showed with the Bloom State, which is pretty obvious. Either it's just not a big change that I'm not noticing in these videos, or there just aren't any of it. So if you see it, please let me know. I would love to see it. Or if I'm just happen to be missing it in the videos I've shown. I don't think that's the case, because in this one, her skill isn't, her intro and outros aren't popping up, which I assume would be because she doesn't have max Concerto energy. I don't know how this works, so it could just be that just doesn't glow in this like beta test thing that they're doing. And then all the other videos are just her alone, so it's kind of hard to tell that way. So I just haven't seen anything with the Concerto energy or have noticed any real difference, but maybe I'm just missing it. So let me know if you know anything I don't, but this is all I'm seeing so far. Regardless of actually seeing it or not, that is what it does in the Bud State. And the Red Camellya Pistol, you have a maximum limit of 100 points. Can't restore under the Bud State. And after casting the intro skill, you'll gain 50 pistol points. And after casting the outro skill, you will also restore 50 Red Camellya Pistol points. After casting the Resonance skill, Red Camellya Bloom, restore 20 pistol points, and then after casting Resonance skill Dark Pistol Seeker, you can restore 20 points that way as well to get back up to that total of 100, which you then use to gain more Concerto energy in kind of a loop of hey, let's gain the points, then let's turn it into concerto, then we use our bud state, then we end the bud state, and so on and so forth, till you kill all the enemies. Next, we have her inherent skills, which are breeding ground. Again, crazy. People are calling her the Gooner character. Havoc damage is increased by 15% though. Invasion, basic attack damage up by 15%. Normal attack and normal attack vine dance resistance to interruption increases. So less likely you get knocked out of it. Her outro skill is called Entangle. Attack the target, dealing 329%, interesting number, havoc damage of Camella's attack. After casting Resonance skill Dayflower, the next outro skill Entangle additionally deals 459% of havoc damage of Camella's attack. And then her intro skill attacks the target, dealing havoc damage. Nice and simple. These are her bonus attributes that you get when leveling up her skills. You know how the chain works in the game. And so the first one, you got 2 attack power and 2 crit damage versus 2.4 on both of those arms. First attack is 1.8, and then the crit damage on the last one, 5.6 plus 5.6, and then attack 4.2 plus 4.2. So some nice little additions there, as she is a main DPS. I showed you her level materials, but here again, you can see them all to prepare, to get ready, so you have everything you need for Camellya to ball out day one. What about a resonance chain? Is it worth it for you to pull multiple copies? Well, let's see. Resonance chain 1. So after you pull your original copy, this is pulling her the second time. When casting intro skill and outro skill Entangle, additionally restore 50 points of red Camellya pistol. When dealing basic attack damage, critical damage increases by 6%, lasting for 10 seconds. Triggers once every 1 second, stacking up to 5 times. You can basically get 30% more crit damage, but the important thing here is you will additionally restore 50 points of red Camellya pistol for your intro and outro skill Entangle. Well, hold up. If we scroll back up here, you already get 50 points for casting your intro or outro skill. So basically, you're gonna be able to have 100 points when you swap her in, and she's gonna then just be able to instantly start using that maximum of 100 points in order to try and convert it all into concerto energy so you can enter your bud state and deal a bajillion damage. Now, I should note that this really only affects the first rotation. So say you're using her with like Shorekeeper, and then we'll just say Yinlin for now. I haven't thought too deeply about what her best teams are quite yet, but let's just say you're running Shorekeeper, Yinlin, and Camellya. You start with the Shorekeeper, then you swap to Yinlin, and then you swap to Camellya. This comes in handy because her intro skill will now be giving 50 plus 50, that's 100. You'll now instantly be able to hop into it. But if you're doing multiple rotations throughout the team, this isn't necessarily super needed because you get 50 for the outro and 50 for the intro. So when you swap her out, you get 50, and then when she comes back in, you get another 50, so you're at 100 anyway. It's just nice for that very first time you swap into her where she doesn't have any of those points already stored up. And then the crit damage, of course. Always nice to have more crit damage. But that's chain 1. Chain 2, Resonance skill Dayflower damage multiplier increases by 120%. Heavy attack counts as basic attack damage and gaining the benefits of the Resonant Circuit Bud state. So basically your heavy attack now is stronger as well as the Resonance skill multiplier. So nice for some extra damage multipliers there. Third time you pull her after the original one, your Reslib damage, your alt damage multiplier increases by 50%. And during the Bud state, Camellya's attack power increases by 58%. So even more damage in that Bud state. It's really becoming a real problem for the enemy. 4, after casting intro skill, Resonators in the team receive a 25% increase in basic attack damage, lasting for 30 seconds. So this is for all Resonators in the team, which I assume includes yourself. So after the intro skill, she will be getting a 25% increase to basic attack damage, but it also helps out the other teammates too if you eventually swap into them before that 30 seconds is up. Then for 5, Reslib damage multiplier increases by 50%. An outro skill Entangle damage multiplier increases by 68%. Some more damage there. And then finally, our very last one, lots of words for this one. During Resonant Circuit Bud state, normal attack, heavy attack, normal attack, vine dance, resonance skill, red Camellya bloom, resonance skill, dark pistol, secret damage, multiply additionally increases by 150%, so a lot more damage there. And then the resonance skill, eternal flower, in 15 seconds after casting your resonance skill Dayflower, if concerto energy is filled up to 100 points, Eternal Flower can be casted, consuming 50 concerto points, restoring 50 points of red Camellya pistol. Then enter Bud state, can be cast once every 25 seconds. Now again, these are subject to change, but if I was just going to give my advice for what you should do just looking at these, now Obviously 6 would be nice, but that's really whale territory. I try and keep my opinions to between 1 to 3 because that's realistically what you're going to go for as a free-to-play. Now, if you can get to 6 and you really like Camellya, entirely go for it. But between 1, 2, and 3, how much do I think it's worth going further? I think 1 is really nice because of what I mentioned about being able to just swap in for the first time and have that full red Camellya pistol stacks set, that 100. And then the crit damage is nice. After that, it's nice to be able to do extra damage, and having the heavy attack count as basic attack damage is really nice and all of that. But I think 1 is the most important. If you can go for more, you're really just getting more percentages on the attack. That 4 obviously helps the rest of the team if you're kind of quick swapping around. And then the last one, obviously, super nice with that resonance skill, Eternal Flower. But yeah, if you can get 1 extra copy of her, I think that's big time move for the free-to-plays. And then obviously if you're spending money, I think the rest of them are all pretty similar from what I'm seeing here. Now, when we get more gameplay and we get closer to actually coming out, maybe I'll notice a bigger difference then. I'm actually able to, like, you know, see damage and whatnot. Then that opinion might change, but as it stands right now, I think getting that 1 extra copy is really what you're looking at. For value, at least. For value. If you just like her, get as many as you want, but for value. And then finally, we have her signature weapon. She is a sword user, although I don't think that's the right picture right there. That kind of looks more similar to Chun-Li's. Here we go. Here it is. I was thinking that's wrong. This is what her weapon looks like. Looks pretty badass, like a viney red glowing sword. I'm a big fan personally. That's what that looks like. And then the substats, it seems we've got critical rate on it, and then attack power increases depending on how many times you pull the weapon. And then basic attack damage increases by, you know, however many times you pull the weapon, up to 24%. Lasting for 12 seconds. So attack power increases by whatever percent you got. And then when doing basic attack damage increases by whatever percent you got, probably 12. I think most people only get the weapon once for 12 seconds and can be triggered every 1 second, stacking up to 5 times. So if you only get it 1 time, stacking up to 5 times, 12 times 5 is 60. Super nice. And then 24 times 5 is 120. So a lot bigger, but then you got to pull the sword way more times. Yeah, that's if you're wailing out. Otherwise, just get the sword once. So that is Camellya as it stands thus far for Wuthering Waves. Let me know, are you pulling? I was pulling the second I saw her in the story for the first time, so it's a done deal for me. I will also be going to try and get multiple copies because I really love her design. I'm a big fan of red, black, and white designs for characters. Hashtag boot hill the goat. But yeah. That's going to do it for me. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Join the Discord if you want to talk about Wuthering Waves and whatnot. And check out the Twitch if you want to see live streams. But that's going to do it for me. Hope y'all are staying happy and healthy. And I'll catch you in the next video.